Hi, this is Christian Cantrell, and this is the Filco Majestouch-2 10-keyless keyboard with MX Cherry Brown switches. Cherry Brown switches are mechanical switches, which are tactile, but they are not clicky. So unlike some of the other keyboards I've reviewed, specifically the MX Cherry Blue switches, when I press these keys, you either don't hear anything or you hear the key bottoming out. The switch inside does not make an explicit clicking sound. So these are usually referred to as, sort of silent switches or quieter switches. They're certainly not silent, because once you get to typing, they do make noise, but they don't make an explicit click. This is a 10-keyless Majestouch-2. That means it doesn't have the number pad on the right, which I really like. This is generally what I prefer, because I'm right-handed. I use the mouse with my right hand, and the 10-keyless keyboards allow me to center the keyboard better in front of the monitor and allow me to get to the mouse without having to reach as far, which is nice. Also, I use this keyboard specifically for gaming, and so that makes being able to reach the mouse and not having to keep my hand really far away while I'm playing a little nicer. The MX Cherry Brown switches are generally considered to be pretty good for gaming, which I agree. I tried it. I've tried several keyboards for gaming, and I really like this one. And I think the reason is that there are all kinds of reasons online, but what really resonates with me is that there's just not as much value in the clicking sound when you're gaming than when you're typing. So when you're playing a game, first of all, you're listening to the sounds in the game. You don't really want to hear a bunch of racket above the sounds of the game. And there's just not as much benefit, I think, to the clickiness of a keyboard when you're gaming. When you're typing, when you're coding, those kinds of things. I really like the clickiness of the MX Cherry Blues, but when I'm playing games, I like the quiet nature of the MX Cherry Brown. So let me do a little bit of typing here so you can hear what they sound like. So again, this is, they make plenty of noise because they're mechanical switches and you can hear the keys bottoming out, but they aren't making the explicit clicking sound. These are also really nice keyboards to use if you work in an environment with cubicles. If you're around other people, they might appreciate the fact that you have a slightly quieter keyboard. This keyboard is in a Windows configuration. As far as I know, the Filco Majestouch keyboards are not available in Mac configurations, although they do work fine on Mac, so don't let that stop you if you really want this keyboard. You can just remap some of these keys. You can create the command key, for instance, and it'll work fine. People are also remapping the print screen, scroll lock, and pause buttons up here to be media buttons, maybe mute and volume up and volume down or something like that. Which is something that I really need on a Mac because I use my computer as my phone. I use a soft phone, an IP phone, so I need to be able to change the volumes quickly and easily, and so I can just remap these keys. But I actually use this keyboard on a PC. Again, I use it for gaming, which I really like. So things I like about this keyboard, I like everything about it. I like the finish. It's very sturdy. It's a very solid, I'm pushing on the keyboard right now, but you wouldn't know unless I told you because it's not rocking, it's not squeaking. It's a nice solid keyboard, nice matte black. The keys feel great, they're well weighted. The keycaps are solid, the switches, the MX Cherry Brown switches are great. I can't think of anything I really don't like about this keyboard. Well, it doesn't have a USB hub, so that's one thing that something like the DOS keyboard has over the Majestouch. It's a very basic keyboard. It's a very stark, basic keyboard. It's for typing. I use mine for gaming. But again, it doesn't have volume keys on it or anything, so I guess I could map up some of these keys to volume, which I should probably do. Instead, I usually change the volume on my speakers, so I should actually probably look into doing that. But it doesn't have any of the extra media keys. It doesn't have, the USB hub. It doesn't have a lot of the features that some other keyboards have. So it's a very stark, sort of functional keyboard. You can swap the keycaps out pretty easily. A lot of people swap them out for gaming, so you can do all kinds of interesting configurations for gaming. Again, it's very solid, great feel. The keys just feel just perfect. It's a really great typing experience. I'm very happy with this keyboard. Things I don't like about this keyboard. The only thing I don't like about this keyboard is that they're extremely difficult to get a hold of. These keyboards are not sold by any retailers in the US as far as I know. They used to be sold by a company called Elite Keyboards. They don't carry them anymore. I bought this one off of eBay. Fortunately, I had a very good experience. I had no problems at all. The seller was excellent, so I was able to acquire one with no problems at all. But the other way to get them is to go on these Asian websites and either find someone who can read Chinese, or use something like Google Translate and struggle your way through making the order, which is a fair amount of work. So there's kind of a relatively high barrier to getting your hands on one of these keyboards. They're just not popular in the United States, but if you can get your hands on one, you'll almost certainly not be disappointed. Great keyboard. Again, this is the Filco Majestouch-2 10-keyless keyboard with MX Cherry Brown switches, the non-clicky switches. And this is a really great keyboard, an excellent choice if you have the motivation to get your hands on one. Thanks for watching.